Hey, Golden State Warriors fans, welcome back. Today, we are diving into the latest updates, breaking down the highs and lows from the recent games, and analyzing what's really happening with this team as they push forward through the season. After that tough loss against the Raptors, it was refreshing to see the Warriors respond with such determination and composure against the Nets. That kind of bounce-back performance is exactly what you want to see from a team with championship aspirations. The Nets, on the other hand, are in a peculiar spot. They don't have much to lose if they win a few games, aside from minor draft positioning. But it's clear that the era of easy tanking for top picks has lost its charm. The lessons of recent seasons have proven that securing a number 1 overall pick does not automatically guarantee success. The Warriors, on the other hand, showcased a level of control and balance that was encouraging. Every player contributed, and while Steph Curry led the scoring as usual with 27 points, the coaching staff managed his minutes carefully, allowing him to avoid fatigue after that exhausting 41-minute game and the overtime battle against Toronto. That kind of management is smart, and it sets the tone for the rest of the squad, showing a commitment to both performance and longevity. The shooting performance from the team was another positive takeaway. For much of this road trip, efficiency has been a problem, with players taking questionable shots and failing to hit above 50% from the field. Against the Nets, however, they corrected course, hitting over 50% overall, which is an encouraging sign for the rhythm and decision-making of the offense. It demonstrates that when the Warriors focus on shot selection and movement, they can operate at a very high level. However, there is still a glaring concern. The three-point shooting percentage was under 30%. Almost every player took attempts from beyond the arc, but efficiency was lacking. Curry naturally carried the load with 12 three-point attempts, but for the rest of the roster, converting multiple shots from distance was scarce. At some point, continuing to force three-pointers without rhythm can hinder the team's overall efficiency. Moving inside for higher percentage shots and creating easier scoring opportunities could have turned a solid 13-point win into a more commanding 23-point victory. That kind of shot management is crucial, especially in high-level competition where efficiency can be the difference between a good win and a dominating performance. While the collective performance was strong, one thing that continues to puzzle fans and analysts alike is the treatment of Jonathan Kuminga. Sitting him out again under a coach's decision, Label sends mixed messages and raises questions about the franchise's strategy. Kuminga's talent and youth make him a valuable asset, yet inconsistency in playing time has left him on the bench for extended periods. With the trade moratorium just 17 days away, this inconsistency could impact his value in potential moves. If the Warriors are considering trading him, they need to showcase his abilities, not hide them. Keeping him inactive risks reducing him to little more than a contractual filler in the eyes of other teams, despite his potential as a versatile slasher who can attack the basket and contribute in the mid-range. The current obsession with three-point shooting has overshadowed the team's ability to integrate him effectively, and this might be a missed opportunity to strengthen both the rotation and trade leverage. Ideally, Coach Kerr would find ways to involve Kuminga without jeopardizing his health, giving him a chance to demonstrate his worth before trade discussions intensify. Turning to other players who made an impact, Nick Claxton deserves a spotlight. With recent trade talks involving Claxton, Daniel Gafford, and Robert Williams, the need for a center is evident. Claxton's performance, however, has demonstrated that he can be a significant contributor. Playing 36 minutes, securing 9 rebounds, delivering 4 assists, only 1 turnover, and recording 3 steals and 3 blocks while scoring 15 points on 7 of 9 shooting from the field, Claxton showed that his value extends beyond just filling a roster spot. His efficiency without requiring the ball in his hands makes him a strategic asset. If the Warriors pursue him as part of a trade package, including Kuminga and potentially a first-round pick, the team could effectively address depth and skill needs while maintaining a balance of youth and talent. Additionally, including other players like Cam Thomas as supplementary pieces could create flexible trade scenarios that maximize both cap space and draft assets, even if Thomas's contributions are primarily scoring-based and limited in other areas. Cam Thomas's game exemplified both the potential and the limitations of certain bench options. In 19 minutes, he scored 13 points, hitting 5 of 12 shots from the field, with 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and minimal contributions elsewhere. While he provides scoring sparks, his overall impact remains inconsistent, which reinforces the importance of targeting players like Claxton who offer multidimensional value. Integrating such players could elevate the team's performance on both ends of the floor, particularly if the Warriors aim to recalibrate their strategy around more efficient scoring and defensive versatility. The combination of Curry's leadership, balanced scoring, and strategic deployment of key rotation players like Claxton could reshape the Warriors' approach as they enter the final stretch of games before the trade moratorium and playoff positioning become critical factors. The current trajectory suggests a team beginning to regain rhythm. Recent victories highlight the ability to control games, distribute contributions across the roster, and adjust strategies mid-game. Managing player minutes effectively, while addressing weaknesses such as perimeter efficiency, creates a pathway for both short-term success and long-term flexibility in trades and roster adjustments. With the upcoming matchup against the Thunder, a team currently struggling with consistency and confidence, the Warriors have a prime opportunity to continue momentum and solidify their standing. Capitalizing on these games with high-quality performance not only boosts confidence, but also strengthens the positioning for the trade window, where strategic acquisitions could further enhance the squad's competitiveness. The next series of games presents a delicate balance between maximizing wins, protecting player health, and ensuring that emerging talents like Kuminga are appropriately showcased to maintain both value and morale. Looking ahead, the Warriors' next set of games is shaping up to be pivotal, especially as they aim to regain consistency and optimize the rotation ahead of the trade moratorium. The matchup against the Thunder presents a clear opportunity to continue the momentum built from recent victories. The Thunder, while talented, have shown vulnerability in recent games, struggling to maintain cohesion after back-to-back losses, including the setback against the Spurs. The Warriors are positioned to exploit that, provided they maintain focus and adhere to the fundamentals that have allowed them to execute at a high level. This means prioritizing shot efficiency, distributing minutes wisely, and ensuring that players like Curry, while still the focal point, are supported by complementary scoring and defensive contributions across the roster. It is in these scenarios that the depth and versatility of the team become crucial, allowing them to adapt in-game and secure commanding wins. One critical narrative continues to revolve around Jonathan Kuminga. His potential as a dynamic player remains significant, yet the hesitation to fully integrate him into the rotation raises questions about long-term strategy. Kuminga's style, which blends athleticism, slashing ability, and mid-range shooting, could serve as a perfect counterbalance to a three-point-centric approach. Incorporating him effectively requires a willingness to diversify offensive schemes, recognizing that efficiency does not solely come from beyond the arc. Even if his minutes are managed conservatively to prevent injury, there is no reason to keep him sidelined entirely. Giving him opportunities to showcase his versatility will not only benefit the team on the court, but also maintain his value in trade discussions. Teams evaluating potential acquisitions will weigh both talent and recent performance, and benching him consistently diminishes his perceived contribution. To avoid undermining his impact, the Warriors must find a way to blend his skill set with the current rotation, ensuring he remains an active and visible component of the squad. Meanwhile, the performances of other role players highlight both promise and concern. Nick Claxton's recent game exemplifies the type of reliable, multifaceted production the team needs. His defensive presence, rebounding ability, and efficient scoring without heavy reliance on the ball allow the Warriors to maintain balance across offensive and defensive phases. Should trade discussions move forward with Claxton, Daniel Gafford, or Robert Williams, it will be essential to evaluate not only statistical output, but also how each player fits into the existing system. The goal is to create a cohesive unit capable of competing at a high level while integrating new acquisitions without disrupting chemistry. Evaluating their contributions against specific opponents, like the Thunder or Hornets, provides a clearer understanding of how each piece enhances the overall team strategy. The flexibility to adapt to multiple scenarios, both on the floor and in trade negotiations, will likely define the success of the Warriors in this critical period. Cam Thomas represents another layer of complexity in the team's decision-making. While his scoring ability can provide bursts of offense, his limited impact beyond points, few assists, rebounds, or defensive contributions illustrates the challenge of assessing bench players in high-stakes contexts. Integrating players like Thomas effectively requires understanding their limitations and leveraging their strengths in moments where scoring is needed, without relying on them as primary contributors. Balancing his role alongside emerging players like Kuminga and potential new acquisitions will be vital in maintaining both efficiency and cohesion. In essence, the coaching staff must manage minutes and responsibilities strategically, ensuring that each player is utilized in a way that maximizes strengths while mitigating weaknesses, all while keeping the team competitive in every game. Looking at the broader picture, the Warriors' recent stretch of games signals a team finding its rhythm. Controlled performances against the Nets, combined with measured use of star players, suggest that the squad is capable of sustaining success while managing fatigue and injury risk. However, the three-point shooting inconsistency and the confusion around rotation decisions highlight areas needing immediate attention. To fully capitalize on their potential, the team must continue emphasizing high-percentage shots, careful distribution of minutes, and strategic integration of young and emerging players. These adjustments, though seemingly minor, can produce meaningful impacts in both win-loss records and individual player development. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Everything changed suddenly, and around the league the same question keeps echoing. What really made Giannis Antetokounmpo alter his path and move toward an agreement with the Warriors? Official explanations are scarce, and that silence has only fueled speculation. Behind closed doors, executives and agents whisper that the shift was less about a single moment and more about a slow accumulation of factors that finally tipped the scale. Sources close to the situation suggest Giannis had been quietly reassessing his long-term ambitions. Winning has never been his only currency. Legacy, influence, and basketball identity weigh just as heavily. The Warriors, with their culture of movement, spacing, and shared responsibility, are said to have appealed to a version of Giannis that wants to evolve beyond raw dominance. The idea of refining his game within a system that values intelligence as much as athleticism reportedly intrigue him. There's also talk of conversations that went deeper than contracts and numbers. The Warriors' leadership is believed to have presented a vision in which Giannis would not simply be another superstar, but a bridge between eras. The chance to learn from an organization that has repeatedly reinvented itself may have resonated with him at a time when he is thinking about longevity and adaptability. Another layer of rumor points to emotional fatigue. Carrying a franchise year after year can quietly drain even the most resilient stars. Insiders speculate that Giannis felt the weight of constant expectations and began to crave a different kind of pressure, one shared among equals rather than born alone. Golden State, with its history of collective accountability, offered that alternative. Financial aspects, while always present, are described as secondary in this narrative. The real turning point, according to those who claim knowledge of the talks, was philosophical alignment. Giannis allegedly saw in the Warriors an environment where his game could be reshaped, his voice amplified, and his story reframed. Whether all of this is true remains unconfirmed, but in the absence of clear answers, the sudden shift feels less like a shock and more like the inevitable outcome of questions Giannis had been asking himself for a long time. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.